Hello, Musto0063 back for part 2 of I Want to Find My Destiny. Last time I took out the intro stage and also the stage 1. And yeah, without much further ado, let's kick off with stage 2. And apologies, you would have had to go back to my previous video to see, it should be probably abundantly obvious just looking at this screen, what the kind of the, or certainly one of the most prominent stage gimmicks is going to be. But yeah, the 2, which was produced in the opening once we defeated boss 1 to signify the beginning of stage 2, was made up of these electric barriers. So yeah, we're going to be these are going to be coming into play a lot during the game. Oh, damn it! I was nearly quick enough to pull that off, but yeah, not quite. I guess I didn't say, I don't think I did anyway, in part 1, that yeah, this isn't going to be anything like Boshi, for instance, where I'm like super familiar with all the tricks, traps, triggers, and whatnot, that those kind of things aren't going to catch me out. Yeah, any kind of trigger, trap where a spike comes flying at me or something like that, I am likely to get screwed over by it. Again, nothing, and again, that's a really, I guess, nice thing of the game. Nothing of the game from that kind of, wow, that kind of ilk feels like it is overly obnoxious with like the triggers and the traps and whatnot, but yeah, I sure as hell am not going to be remembering where they all are, because although it's not been that long since I played this game, yeah, I'm not as familiar with it as I am with something, for instance, like I want to be the Boshi. But yeah, another thing, a kind of thing, or gimmick. I don't want to really say gimmick per se. I wouldn't maybe call it a gimmick, but well, I don't know. Dealer's choice. Depends how you feel about it. These kind of platforms that we're going to have to spend a lot of time riding on, and probably to be expected, given that our main kind of stage gimmick is going to be these electric barriers, because as you can probably naturally expect, they are going to be. That was close. Meaning that we haven't really got a lot of safe ground to stand on at times. So yeah, we're going to need the help of something in order to traverse through the level. Sometimes it's these platforms, sometimes it will be the dash boosters or propeller boosters, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, I'd say later on we are going to start getting to some of the really fun screens where we have some of the the dash pads while we're going through this level. But yeah. We're likely going to have to make use of certain other objects in order to traverse through the screens. And here you can see that we're clearly having a little double jump. I don't want to say maze to get through, but that was awful. But yeah, little area here where clearly there's no safe ground whatsoever, so we're going to have to make use of all these double jump planches to make our way up through the bloody hell, through the shaft and to safety. I can't remember whether I said in part 1, I don't think I did, but you might be able to kind of see these double jump replenishers are bobbing up and down. For the most part that's fine, I didn't remember that, damn it. Not that this is that difficult, but I would like to not have to do this again. For the most part, not so bad, but there are some areas certainly where I feel like the fact that they actually bob up and down is a little bit of an annoyance, because particularly when you're having to do one of those little areas where you've got no solid ground, you're having to kind of repeatedly use the double jump replenishers. If you're going up a really long shaft and it just so happens that one of the double jump replenishers at the top is just out of reach because it happens to bob at the worst possible time, then yeah, that means I'm likely going to have to redo an entire section all over again because the last double jump just happened to bob right out of reach at the wrong point in time. I don't think it's ever massively obnoxious in this game, but still, can be a bit of a thing at times. At this point in time, I should have done it earlier, but I'm actually going to try and test something out. Well, I am if I'm not going to land on spikes stupidly. What I want to do is I want to see if I can cancel. Yeah, by pressing jump, the full movement of those dash pads, whatever, boosters. But that was absolutely atrociously timed. It's definitely going to come into play later on where we've got the sideways ones, that I can hold the direction button and kind of stop the momentum that I've built up, but it's also quite useful to know that I can do that for the ones that would propel me up vertically as well. Yeah, that's a much better thing. That timing thing there is not too bad, at least for the first time, or the first 2 little electric barriers you have to jump over. For the second 2 you don't get a little less time, but yeah, it's still not that bad. use of the platforms, although we don't need to make use of the last one. Can if you want to, but doesn't need, there's no need to. So I shan't because I can. This section, I really like this screen, and wow. The only thing I would say about it, in fact, I probably wanted to reset this anyway, just so the platforms, wow, are a bit more synced up, but stop falling off the ledge for the platforms, Jesus. The one thing I'd say that's disappointing about this is that there isn't more of this. If you notice, there's a little kind of eyeball kind of thing in the top left, which is kind of like firing or kind of like aiming a laser at me. And there's a little icon. Let me go over and save before I do something stupid. Little kind of there are these two blue barriers, and there's a thing up at the top there that says jumps left. So previously it said 7 jumps left, 6 jumps left, blah, 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 and I can only jump 7 times during this whole area. So I have to make full use of the single jumps. Some of them are, that particular area at the top there where there's, a row of spikes. I can't use a double jump. I don't believe anyway. To get over that. If I use a double jump, I won't have quite enough to be able to get through. The eyeball will fire at me, and it'll all go pear-shaped. So, you have to make full use of the jumps and plan ahead and see where you're going to need to take maybe some shortcuts. You also saw me take a shortcut in the middle there. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head now whether I would need to do that. I think I do. I think if I actually stayed on that middle platform and didn't drop off, down in the middle of the screen, that I'd end up with one jump too few to be able to do it. So yeah, I really kind of like this thing. But the disappointing thing is I don't recall, at least anywhere, that appears at all in the game ever again. And yeah, it's such a shame. I think there's kind of lots of kind of different, lots of ways you could kind of employ that, lots of kind of screens in which you could actually use that ability. So yeah, I would say it's a very fun thing, but I would say that my disappointment on it is that there is actually, not more of it in the game. But that's a very good thing. And my disappointment is due to the fact that there's, not enough of it in the game. That was a pretty fun screen as well, where you kind of have to make use of lots of the dash pads that pretty much insta-propel you where you want to go. Not always, so there are a few times where you want to move to the right or left to avoid getting, propelled into a spike or something. But for the most part, you can just let the dash pads, take you where you want to go. And the double jump bit at the end is not too bad. You will, I'm hoping, kind of notice that during that bit where the double jump replenishment bit all started, I did actually kind of stop the momentum from the dash pad in order to progress through. So I'm kind of conscious that some of these screens are going by pretty quickly, but what can I say? I don't really think too much is that difficult. I like to think that I'm reasonably kind of good at these kind of games anyway, and I just don't. I don't think that there's much in these first few stages, at least, that are all that difficult. So yeah, I'm kind of conscious that these stages are going by perhaps a bit quicker than I would ideally like for a Let's Play, but yeah, I'm not going to really apologise for that too much. Okay, let me talk about this screen. You can see a kind of Mega Man X style electric thing. Whatever the hell it is, in the middle there, which is kind of like being pushed down every time I collect one of these, or every time can I shoot them? No, I can't actually shoot them. I could shoot. Let's say I thought they might be similar to the ones in that bridge in that intro stage, but no, those ones you those ones you shoot, these ones you touch. If you're kind of one, and yeah, you have to hit all 7 of them, I think it is, in order to propel. So. Yeah, again, I've probably gone on a bit too quick here, but let me pause here. This beam here was blocking this area. Whoa, I almost just made a colossal mess of that and panicked and screwed up and would have died. That would have been terrible. It was blocking my path, so I had to hit all those switches which moved this barrier out of the way. In an ideal world, because there's a little trap down there, as you can clearly see, that you have to, once you get that last one, which is at the bottom right, hightail it off, to the left to get out of the way of that trap. So you might think, well, why didn't I just make this one the last one that I collected? You can't. The last one always has to be the one at the bottom right. So yeah. Do you think you could take if you thought I could take a bit of a shortcut there, not quite, not so much. Yeah, I don't think we've got many screens left at this stage, I have to say. Here we have a nice little drop-down shaft area spanning 3 screens. Which ordinarily is, again, I can think of a lot of games where this kind of thing is implemented where it's really not all that good because you get just screwed over by not knowing really what's on the next screen. But as you can see here, particularly, and I've done it, I think that was first go, or maybe second go, but particularly when you go up screen from these dash boosters, where you obviously get flung up pretty quickly, at no point in time do you ever get dicked over, where you have to be able to react, at the click of a finger in order to progress. Every time you go up a screen, there will always be an area where you can actually just take stock and just happily just bounce up and down and not die. Take stock of the screen, work out where you need to go, without flinging yourself into an electric barrier. And I can think of so many games where that wouldn't happen, where you'd have to almost memorise the screen, while you're kind of going through. But this game is again so well designed to the point of view where you don't have to do that. And here we are coming to pretty much the final last few screens of the stage, and it's pretty much just sit back and enjoy the ride. There are a few occasions where we're going to have to move, as you can see there. I didn't press any button there. I just for demonstration purposes, just kind of showed you what would happen there. Now I've done it twice. I didn't mean to do that twice. Didn't mean to do that either. But for the most part, you can pretty much just let the thing, carry you. Wow, all the way. But you do have to make a few subtle movements every now and then. But for the most part though, just sit back and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the fun ride. Yeah, I do like that a lot. Now, this screen, from what I remember, always just seems to give me an unnecessary amount of trouble, because it always just seems like one of the double jumps there at the top is just, I don't know, bobbing out of reach, or there feels like there's one double jump too few. Looking at that screen, you'd think there's easily enough double jump punches there in order to get through that quite easily, but it never quite seems to be the way. It didn't take that long, admittedly, but yeah. Always get a little bit kind of caught out there by the double jump punches, just perhaps either not being enough of them or bobbing up and down just out of reach. But anyway. That's the end of the level part of Stage 2. So, that brings us to the boss of Stage 2. And, this is kind of a fun one. To be honest, they're all pretty fun. But we're going to have to spend... Wow! What on earth was that? We're going to have to spend a lot of the time traversing through this area, because, at the moment you can see we've clearly got lots of electric barriers all over the place. They are going to kind of go away at various points in time, and we're going to have to kind of make our way through the maze of barriers. So, wow, what am I doing? Yeah, let's do a little bit better, please. Right, let's actually talk about some moves now. So this first one, I would recommend just kind of holding all the way back to the left, and then double jumping. Not so high that you hit the barrier, but not so low that your second double jump isn't going to clear the electric or the spheres. The hit point of this, what am I doing? That's not where you're supposed to go at all. Oh boy, I hope I can remember how this maze works and where you need to go at certain points in time. Anyway, the weak point of this boss is this kind of a blue and yellow bar on its back, or whatever the hell it is. I can't tell if it's its back, its face. I don't really know what the what the face or the back of this thing is, but I'll maybe talk about some of the other attacks when I die next and go back to it, because a few I've skipped over here. But a lot of this, that's absolutely awful. Trying to get too many hits in. Bleh. Yeah, here we go. Right. Jump and then double jump. So he turns around and when he fires these kind of little yellow projectiles at you. I mean, they're not. At least I think they're yellow. They might be red. They might be orange. I don't know. Apologies for my eyesight. And terrible playing again. But I wouldn't certainly call that's anything like bullet hell. So that's not really too tricky to dodge. He does move a bit closer here, so you do have to be a little bit on guard. But I mean, this bit's you might get hit every now and again if it gives you a nasty pattern. But still, anyway. You want to move up when that electric beam fires, and move up to the top. Now you just want to kind of follow the electric beams as they go around. Follow all the patterns and everything. And now we come to this area where I always seem to have a hell of a time on this one with just the projectiles being really hard to see. They always seem to be. So I like to always kind of jump and try and shoot him at that point in time to get more hits on him as well. But for some reason they all just seem to I don't want to say home in, because they're always preset on a pattern whenever they first fire, but they always just seem to be right in the way where I don't want them to be. Anyway, for this attack I just kind of jump and then duck, or just sit around and then jump again for the final plasma ball. For this bit you want to head down to the left and then get up to the middle, or the mid left bit, and follow this beam round and then back down again. So here we go again, this spike bit. This is the bit where I feel like you really want to kind of like pepper your shots on. It's the moment in time where you know, certainly have the most opportunity to hit him. After that, move to the right, and then down to the bottom. And don't do that. I'm going to go over to the right because I was a bit too... I'm going to head off... I'm going to head off to the right because while you certainly can go to the left and probably get a few more hits in, I don't feel like I need to go that gung-ho on this boss, to be honest. Most of his attacks are pretty dodgeable, so I'm going to head off to the right, and that'll give me much more time to dodge that attack. So yeah, anyway, plasma balls, jump. You'll kind of naturally fake out the or force the other one to kind of go up anyway, and then jump again toward the third one. And then just follow the maze round. It can be a little bit tricky to sometimes see exactly where they all are because the barriers are like not like on off all the time. Sometimes they kind of like flicker. And everything like that, so it's not always immediately obvious, you know, where you need to go. So yeah, I'm going to head right here because you need to kind of be able to have a jump and a double jump pretty for a pretty long time. Oh no, I've done that terribly. Oh, just about got that, and I was too quick. Oh dear God. I'm going way ahead of myself there. After that, there's one more attack and he starts to cycle, or this thing, I'm not really call it a he, starts to cycle over again. So yeah, we've pretty much seen everything. There is one last move, but yeah. I hope again you've kind of got a flavour for the fact that nothing here is all that difficult. There are lots of opportunities where he just leaves himself open to be hit a lot. The cycle doesn't go on for ages. Usually it's pretty obvious where you need to go, despite the fact that it's a maze. So yeah. Nothing too tricky. So I've actually done this boss by getting in before the end of the cycle. I don't plan on doing that really, just because it would be nice to kind of see all the moves. So like here, if I was really kind of peppering away here, I think I could probably do enough to kind of kill him. But yeah, let's actually kind of maybe get him round one full cycle and see all of his moves. So yeah, so for this one, the electric barrier that comes flying at you, shoot. And hopefully you'll kind of kill it well in time. Then wait for the bloody electric barriers to go away. Now kind of follow the thing round in like a square shape, avoiding all the bombs, and you'll be absolutely fine. And now the pattern repeats. So provided I make a colossal mess up here with only 14 hits left, you should be done. In fact, if I'm good, I'll probably get you before you can shoot again. Or shoot those yellow projectiles, yeah. Nice fun, pretty straightforward boss. Again, it might take you a bit of time to fully appreciate where you need to go when you have to move from section of the screen to section of the screen, depending on how the electric barriers are going to chase you. But yeah, I think it's a pretty fun boss. Again, a pretty straightforward one, but not going to complain about that one bit. And again, makes good use of the the gimmick of the stage, the electric barriers. So yeah, can't complain. Can't complain at all. And I think that only took I think I only died 6 times as well. So I think it was 64 when I went into the boss. So yeah. We'll obviously save stage 3 for next time, but you're obviously getting a preview of the absolutely awesome soundtrack that there is in this game. And yeah, we'll certainly be hearing more of this awesome music next time. And yeah, hopefully next time I can get through the entirety of stage 3. Certainly pretty pleased with how stage 2 went. And until then, cheerio.